Hurricane Sandy crashing on shore, winds now at 90 miles per hour, and this storm is so big, so vast, 60 million Americans will feel its power.
The eyes of the world today stunned by this image. This was debris from a meteor racing toward Earth, streaking across the sky there, crashing into the ground in those woods. And look at some of the other images emerging tonight. The cloudy trail the meteor produced, and on impact, this, carving a little pool into a frozen lake. It's the biggest meteor in more than a century to hit the planet. This one crashed in Russia. 1,000 people were injured from shards of flying glass and debris. Tonight here, we have learned there was no warning.
It came out of nowhere, a bright speck in the sky, soon streaking across the horizon, followed by an almost apocalyptic scene, a blinding flash of light, and then all hell broke loose. Dizzying explosions, shattering windows, knocking these office workers to the ground. These students were lucky, protected by curtains from the flying glass.
And these chaos along the Jersey shore. The superstorm battering the barrier islands. In the crosshairs, Atlantic City. The road into this seafront town is completely submerged. Damage started early. Massive chunks of boardwalk littering the streets. Street after avenue after cul-de-sac inundated. So we just picked one, Blaine Street, and started knocking on doors.
Made arrangements with our upstairs neighbors in case the water starts coming up into our house to go ahead and go upstairs. And we've got our kids. We're just going to snuggle in a ball and hope for the best.
Once the surge peaks, at high tide, waves at the shore could grow to 20 feet. Out at sea, up to 40 feet. The superstorm battering the barrier islands. In the crosshairs, Atlantic City. The road into this seafront town is completely submerged. Damage started early. Massive chunks of boardwalk littering the streets. Street after avenue after cul-de-sac inundated. So we just picked one, Blaine Street, and started knocking on doors.
Made arrangements with our upstairs neighbors in case the water starts coming up into our house to go ahead and go upstairs. And we've got our kids. We're just going to snuggle in a ball and hope for the best.
Once the surge peaks, at high tide, waves at the shore could grow to 20 feet. Out at sea, up to 40 feet.
You gotta take a look at this. All the winds have picked up, and this is what happens. Debris, like pieces of the boardwalk, have come for 3 blocks. That's the ocean back there. Huge waves crashing up and over. Did you see that one? Pushing ocean water. The storm is on top of us right now.
And it's only going to get worse during the next high tide.
So this is taking shelter, what you're seeing right now. That's what we're doing, if you can believe it or not, one of the safest and driest places. This will be a historic storm for so many, but the storm surge is still 90 minutes away from high tide here. We'll have many more pictures throughout the broadcast, of course, but for now we'll head back to Diane.
Okay, thank you, Ginger, and we'll be checking in with you throughout this 1-hour broadcast. And now this is the view from above. The superstorm already stretching across 1/3 of this country from Florida to Canada. 1,000 miles long, delivering the kind of rain seen once every century. The flood.
Yes, Diane, I'm standing in water. New York Harbor is actually over the edge here, and we're standing in it. This is, by the way, driftwood that just washed up. Now, you know, before I came to ABC News, I covered New York weather for 25 years. I have never seen water in Lower Manhattan. There is water now on the streets in Lower Manhattan. Let's show you.
The meteor was captured on cell phones and on dashboard cameras of cars, so popular here in Russia. The blast was so powerful it knocked down a wall at this factory. In all, over 1,200 people were injured, mostly from broken glass. 3,000 buildings damaged, over 1 million square feet of glass shattered. Many were injured after going to the window to check out the flash in the sky. The glass shattered and bounced back on me. My beard was cut open, this man says. The meteor was believed to be about 50 feet wide, weighing a whopping 7,700 tons. That's about the same as the Eiffel Tower. It raced towards Earth at over 40,000 miles per hour. As it crashed into the atmosphere, it began to break into pieces, causing those booms and sending those powerful shockwaves towards the ground, rocking a zone stretching hundreds of miles away, those shockwaves causing all of the damage. As for the pieces of the meteor, one of the bigger chunks landing here, leaving that massive hole in the frozen lake.
Tonight, about 20,000 Russian troops are headed to the affected area. They'll be helping those residents who are struggling without windows. Temperatures are expected to drop well below zero overnight. Meanwhile, Russian television coverage has been going wall to wall with what some commentators said looked like a scene out of an action movie.
Hello, welcome to our art gallery. I want you to take what you just heard and think about it. Think about the meteorite. Think about what if you were there? What if it happened here? Think about people over there. How would they react? How would you react? Now, I want you to think about Sandy. I want you to think, where were you? I want you to look around the gallery. If there are people there, I want you to think what they were doing. What were you doing? How did you prepare, and how do you think they prepared? What if it happened in Russia instead of here? Okay, and I want you to take that into consideration when looking around. Now, back to the meteorite. What would you do? Where would you go? What would be your first instinct? Now, would you care as much if it was here or instead of there or the other way around? Take these things into your consideration. Now, while you're walking around aimlessly, after you finish looking at all of the artwork, I want you to look around at all the people around you. If you're by yourself, then simply look at all the artwork or your favorite artwork. I want you to think about, why is it your favorite, or how does it relate to you? And then simply, as you leave the gallery, just sign out. And I hope you enjoyed my interpretation. Thank you.